Hey you guys, we are out front today, the front of our house, because we have a few projects we are working on, but one of them is touching up the containers up front. Let me show you. Okay, so most of these containers are in basically full sun, and we planted these up at the beginning of July, and they look really good. The only thing is that we need to touch up the containers that are a little bit over here. This one gets pretty much full sun, but this one, as you can see, really doesn't get much sun at all. It is in pretty much shade here. And a lot of the things have kind of sort of struggled over here. We had some Angelonia, some Vinca that aren't really blooming that much because of that. The Vinca is blooming, but it's a little leggy. The sweet potato vine looks really good. That can handle a little bit more shade and still thrive. So what we're gonna do is we're going to save the sweet potato vines, take out the flowers in here, and then replace them with some coleus. And I'm still on the fence about doing this, but I think I might tuck in some coleus in the back of these pots, kind of the north side where it doesn't get as much sun, but I don't know if it's gonna be visible and if it's even worth it, so we're gonna think about that. We also have this container over here that is filled with this really pretty Medusa sweet potato vine, Angelonia, and this trailing Vinca, but they never really bloomed. They did a little bit during the height of the summertime, but I think we're just gonna take a lot of this out. We might keep the sweet potato vine and plant in some more coleus over here. Let's go grab some coleus because they are upstairs in the grow room. Okay, we are upstairs in the grow room. It is kind of in disarray right now, but we have a ton of really pretty coleus over here. This variety is called, let's see if we can get that on there, Volcanica? Volcanica? That's kind of a cool name. But it has these really pretty like burgundy, like ashy maple colored leaves. I don't really know exactly how to describe them, but they're really pretty, like a rusty color. That's the word, rusty. So when we got in our plugs, some of them were really good. Some of them were kind of like broken at the base. So these are all kind of recovering. It's giving like these plants got a really good pinching, so these will all bush out. They're just a little bit farther behind. So today I think we're gonna grab some of these. These look really healthy. I'm trying to leave the nice, pretty ones for my clients, so I want to leave those. So I have some here, these red ones over here. And then this is the other one. This is called La Portage Avenue with these really pretty serrated leaves on them. Look how pretty that is. And this is like from fertilizer, these spots on this plant. Let's see if we can get a little zoom in. Typically I like to fertilize from the bottom under, especially inside, but you know, if we get it on the leaves, sometimes this happens and it'll just wash off eventually. So anyways, these probably do need to be pinched. We pinched some of them. This is kind of how they look. They're sending out lots of side branches there. We're gonna grab some coleus and bring them down there. I think that the containers are a little dark right now, so I might steer away from this one and mainly plant this one right now because we have this purple sweet potato vines in there right now. So I think this is going to provide a lot of contrast in there. I don't know if this one will, but I still just love this color, so I might plant one or two. We tore out all the flowers and then gave the sweet potato vines a little bit of a trim. We want them to kind of focus their energy on filling in the top part while giving a little bit of room for these coleus. Now we're gonna shove these coleus in pretty tight here because we want them to fill in pretty quickly. It is kind of early September right now. And you know, we want these to be kind of filled in by really the end of the month for fall when everything else starts blooming up here. We do have quite a bit of color here, but really we want them filled in for fall. So we're gonna start shoving these in really anywhere where there's extra room. We'll put them in here. The red ones are gonna get taller usually than the Volcanica, I should say, is gonna get taller than the La Portage. This one's gonna get about, I said 2 to 3 feet tall, and this one said about 18 to 24 inches. So we're gonna put these in the center and towards the back, and these are gonna go up towards the front. Okay, the neighbors are blowing, so don't mind the blower sounds, but these look so good, you guys. I am so excited for these to fill in. We put the red ones towards the back in the center, and then we put the Laportage ones down towards the front, and then the sweet potato vines look kind of rough right now. We might give them a slight trim again, but they're gonna fill in, they're gonna correct themselves, they're gonna start growing really out of these vine parts here where there's no leaves. They'll just fill the whole entire area there and look absolutely gorgeous. So now we're gonna tuck in some coleus in the backs of some of these containers. Okay, I think they look pretty good. I think they're gonna fill in really quickly. I hope that they don't get a little burned from being in the sun. They are sun coleus, meaning that they can handle sun, obviously not like full sun in our Arizona summers, but they can handle some sun during like the spring and the fall months. So we tucked it in there. We might actually put a shade cloth over this one just for like a day or two to get them acclimated. Now, we didn't acclimate them outside. We usually don't do that with coleus because we're taking them from the grow room, we're putting them outside, but we're only putting them in the shade. So this might get hit with a tiny amount of sunlight. So they can handle the sun obviously after they've been acclimated to it in the spring and the fall. Like I mentioned, they don't like the hot sun in the summertime, but they'll do fine in like a 90-degree day with a few hours of direct sunlight. So we're gonna put some stakes in here, throw a shade cloth on here just for about a couple days to get them nice and acclimated. You could totally clip the ends of these sweet potato vines off and put them in water or some soil and propagate these sweet potato vines. We have a ton of propagation projects right now, so we're not gonna do that, but if you wanted to, you definitely could. Okay, so we grabbed a shade cloth, we grabbed some stakes to hold up the shade cloth and some bricks to weigh it down. So let's put them in the container. Okay, this is what we have right now. Obviously it's not the most sightly situation, but again, it's only on here for a few days until the coleus get more acclimated. But we just put in the 3 stakes. They're about, I want to say like 3 feet tall. 3 of them here just to hold things up, and then we put the brick over here. Now, I don't know exactly what percent shade cloth this is because it was a gift from a fellow gardener, but I think it's around 30 or 50%. Really, anything in that range will be just fine to give the edge off in the hot afternoon sun. Okay, so now we just have to do this container. Okay, so we have this one planted up. We took out the Antilonia and the Vinca, and now we just have some coleus. Again, it's probably overkill. We put 4 plants in here, but it's gonna fill in quickly. We kept the sweet potato vine to give us some draping action over the container. And again, this is gonna fill in quickly. The sweet potato vine is gonna fill in this area a little bit more, and it's gonna look so good. I'm excited. And we just got done finishing up the coleus in the back where we planted them up for some of the shade spots. I'll go show you guys that really quickly because they're gonna be so pretty. Okay, these are all the coleus that we potted up with you guys the other day. Look at all of them. Oh, they are so pretty. Again, these are gonna be taller and then these are gonna be slightly shorter. So I think having different variation is gonna be perfect. When I'm picking out coleus, I'm always like thinking about like, how are these gonna look together? How am I gonna provide interest by only picking out maybe 2, maybe 3 varieties? But I think these have some really good contrast. Really great for fall and a little bit different height as well. So I am so excited to see these fill in. I'll show you guys where we're putting them because we're gonna tuck them throughout the garden. Okay, this is one of the spaces. Again, we have sweet potato vines over here right now that are really pretty. Actually, I love how these look together. The Medusa and this like bronzy colored one. I think it's really pretty, but I do want to give some height in here, so I might take out a few of the sweet potato vines and then tuck in some coleus in here. I think they're gonna go really well with them. I think that's gonna be really, really pretty. So we have some space over here that wraps around the house, and then back here where we'll probably put some coleus. This is one coleus that we had over summer, and this is what happens. This was the, I think, fairway green, but it's supposed to have like a white and green look to it. And they just grow really weird in the summertime. I don't know what it is, but they survive, but they just don't look great. So I always just get fresh new plants in the fall. It's just totally worth doing that. And I might actually plant up some more wire vines. Look at these wire vines. It's actually hiding a little bit, but look at that. Isn't that pretty? Just a shimmer, really pretty shimmer and sparkle in the shade. There's one down there too. And you guys, I totally forgot, we got these in the mail, so we're gonna pot these up really quick. These are dahlia cuttings. We haven't really tried growing dahlias in the fall before. We usually grow them in the very early spring. So I'm excited to try these out. But this is a dwarf variety called Venti Tequila Sunrise. It's supposed to be this really pretty like orangey, like burgundy color. On a shorter plant, it only gets, I believe, like 14 inches tall, 14 to 18, somewhere in that range. But look at that. These are absolutely perfect. So we're gonna pot some in some terracotta pots, and we'll tuck them in as things fade out in the container garden, but I think they're gonna be really pretty towards the end of October and into November. I think I'm gonna use these, this is a 12-inch pot. I think 12 inches is gonna be perfect to put 3 of them in here. Okay, so we're gonna pot up 5 containers with the dahlias and put 3 of them in each one. Ooh, we got a big crack on this. Do you guys see that? Usually cracks aren't a huge issue as long as you can still pick up the pot and move it around the garden. I don't really worry about cracks because they do happen, and obviously they deteriorate. The pots with cracks deteriorate faster than the ones that don't have cracks in them, but you know, we have so many pots that we're cycling in and cycling out that we kind of have to use cracked pots every now and then, so I don't worry about it. As long as we can still pick it up, it's not really an issue. Thank you guys so much for watching. That is it for today's video. We will have our ranunculus and anemone corm sale as well as live plants available for shipping in mid-September, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.